Dear students, viewers and the subscribers, welcome to the IAS Mentor. This would be lecture 111 in the series Indian Polity. And in this lecture, we are not going to see a specific topic, but we are going to do what is called as the practice questions. And I already said how crucial is the practice question, which will help you in clearing this examination. So in the present lecture, we are going to discuss the practice question from a specific topic that is called as the constitutional bodies. Last 4-5 classes, if you see, we have been discussing upon various constitutional bodies. So from those constitutional bodies, today we will discuss the practice question. And doing practice question is very, very important, which will help you in clearing this examination. So we'll directly get into the practice question. We'll try to solve the questions that is there. So come, let's go to question number 1. So in fact, if you see, this is practice question number 13 in the entire series. That means approximately for every 8 to 10 lectures we have a practice question, or we have a practice question lecture where we try to solve 10 questions, 15 questions, 20 questions depending upon the topics. So overall, if you see, we have discussed more than around 200 questions in the entire series itself. And as we'll move forward, we'll discuss more questions also. This is to help the students to revise whatever they've learned through the lectures. Okay, come to the first question. Which one of the following commission was set up in pursuance of a definite provision under article of the Constitution of India? Or in other words, which of these bodies given here is established by way of a particular article that is there in the Constitution? Or in other words, the question is asking which of these following bodies is a constitutional body which is specifically established by a way of an article in the Constitution. So let us try to find the answers. Universities Grants Commission, there is no article which is related to the Universities Grants Commission. In fact, it is established based on the Universities Grant Commission Act. So therefore, it is merely a statutory body and it is not a constitutional body. National Human Rights Commission, that is also not the right answer, because the National Human Rights Commission is established based on the Human Rights Act. So therefore, this is also a statutory body, not a constitutional body. Central Vigilance Commission is established based on the Central Vigilance Commission Act. So therefore, the Central Vigilance Commission is also a statutory body. So already made it very clear what is a constitutional body. A body which is established by the Constitution itself, then it becomes a constitutional body. What about the Election Commission of India? Is the Election Commission of India a constitutional body? Yes. It is established under Article 324 of the Constitution. So therefore, the Election Commission of India is a constitutional body. Can you give the answer to this particular question? Say just true or false. The composition of the Election Commission of India is fixed in the Constitution. Whether this statement is true or false. So just try to give your answers in the comment box. Let me see how many of you have observed as to what I discussed with regard to the Election Commission of India. All right. So please come to the question number 2 with regard to the question number 2 is related to I think Election Commission of India. So read the statement number 1. Superintendent's direction and conduct of free and fair elections. Which of the above are the functions of the Election Commission of India? So basically the question is talking about what are the functions, and the very beginning of Article 324 talks that there shall be an Election Commission to supervise and to direct and to control the elections in our country. So therefore, to ensure what is called as free and fair elections. Free elections means free from any malpractices. Fair election means where everybody is given an equal opportunity in contesting the election. So this is definitely one of the functions of the Election Commission of India. Preparation of electoral rolls for the elections to the Parliament, State Legislature, Office of the President and the Vice President. This is also true. Although it is not directly mentioned in the Constitution, this is the function of the Election Commission of India under the Representation of People Act and the President Vice President Election Act 1952 and the Representation of People Act 1950. So therefore, if you look into the functions of the Election Commission of India, not each and every single function is mentioned in the Constitution itself. There are certain functions that they perform by virtue of the law that is made by the Parliament. So of course, this particular statement is also true. Can you tell me what are all the areas Election Commission of India has to carry out the elections? It has to carry out election to the Lok Sabha, it has to carry out elections to the Rajya Sabha, it has to carry out election to the State Legislative Assembly and also to the council in a state if there is a council, and apart from that the election of the president and the vice president. Giving recognition to the political parties, allotting election symbols to the political parties and individuals contesting the election. Is it a function of Election Commission? Of course, it is also a function as per the Representation of People Act 1951. So, it is Election Commission of India which has to allocate symbols. It is Election Commission of India which will resolve even disputes related to the allocation of symbols. It is Election Commission of India which has to register the political parties. So, all these things are done by the Election Commission of India. So, this is also true. Which of the above are the functions of the Election Commission of India? The right answer would be option D. D is the correct answer. Alright. So, with that we will move to the question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding the Finance Commission of India. What is the article based on which the Finance Commission of India is established? The Finance Commission of India is established based on Article 280 of the Constitution. So, the article based on which this is established is Article 280 of the Constitution. And what is the role of the Finance Commission of India? The Finance Commission of India will talk about the distribution of revenue between the center and the states. Distribution of revenue between the center and states. Center and the states. And the Finance Commission of India will also talk about the granting aids to the states. And apart from that, any other function which may be entrusted upon by the President. The Finance Commission of India is a constitutional body. The composition of the Finance Commission is given in the Constitution itself. It shall consist of 4 plus 1 members. That is 4 members and 1 chairperson. So, this is given in the Constitution. So, therefore, with this information, let us try to understand which of the following are the functions of the Finance Commission. It allows for the withdrawal of money from the Consolidated Fund of India. The Election Commission of India does not have any role with regard to withdrawal of money from the Consolidated Fund of India. So, the withdrawal of money from Consolidated Fund of India is taken care by certain other authorities, especially to appropriate money from the Consolidated Fund of India. The Parliament has to give the approval, not the Finance Commission. To allocate between the center and the states shares of their proceeds. Yes, whatever the tax that is collected by the center, certain amount of taxes has to be shared with the state. So, therefore, this is a correct answer. To supervise and to report on whether the union and the state governments are levying taxes in accordance with the budgetary provisions. So, it is not the role of the Finance Commission of India to see whether the taxes are levied as per the law. This is to be done by the respective bodies like the Parliament. The Parliament may question the executives with regard to all those things. So, it is not for the Finance Commission to do that. To consider applications for granting aid from the states. Yes, this they may consider, because ultimately it is for the Finance Commission to recommend to the center to provide granting aids to the states under Article 275 of the Constitution. So, this they may look into, but the other things are not the answer. So, therefore, what is the right answer here? Which of the following are correct? So, the possible answer is option B, that is 2, 1, 3 only. Alright. So, please come to the next question. Consider the following statements in India. So, the question is, which of the statements are correct among the given statements? Statement 1. The Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioners enjoy equal but receive unequal salaries. Is it true? The Chief Election Commissioner and the election commissioners, they are equal in their status and they are also equal in terms of their salaries. So, here it is saying unequal salary is not the right thing. So, because of the unequal salary, here it is wrong. The Chief Election Commissioner is entitled to the same salary as that provided to the Judge of the Supreme Court. Now, this is what we have discussed in our lectures. Initially, yes, by the previous law, yes, the salary and allowances of the Chief Election Commissioner was similar to that of the Judge of the Supreme Court. But as per the Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioners Appointment and Conditions of Service Act 2023, now based on this particular act, the salary and allowances of the Chief Election Commissioners and the election commissioners are equivalent to that of the Cabinet Secretary in our country. So, therefore, definitely this particular statement is wrong. Statement 2, because the salary is equivalent to that of the cabinet secretary in our country. So who is a cabinet secretary? He is the senior most civil servant in our country. Come to statement number 3. The chief election commissioner shall not be removed from his office except in the manner and on grounds similar to that of a judge of a Supreme Court. So this is given in the constitution itself. And what is the ground on which they can be removed? They can be removed either on the grounds of misbehavior or incapacity, but removed in the same manner as that of a judge of a Supreme Court. How about the other election commissioners are removed? The other election commissioners are removed by the President of India on the recommendation of the Chief Election Commissioner. Statement number 4, the term of office of the election commissioner is 5 years from the date he assumes the office or till the day he attains 62 years of age. So this is again wrong, because the term of the Chief Election Commissioner or the other election commissioners, the term is 6 years or 62 years, whichever is early. Sorry, 6 years or 65 years and not 62 years. So here it is 6 years. It is not 5 years. So in both the cases it is wrong. So anyway, statement 4 is wrong. So what are the right options that we have? Which of the statements given above are correct? So 1 is wrong, 2 is wrong, 3 is correct. What about statement number 4? It is 6 years or 62 years. So which of the statements given above are correct? A small correction. In fact, this is a previous year UPSC. It's a previous year UPSC question, and this question came way back before 2000. So when the question came at that point of time, the question has taken into account the statement 2. The statement 2 talks about what? The statement 2 is saying the chief election commissioner is entitled to the same salary as that of a judge of a Supreme Court. When the question was asked by UPSC, this particular statement is true. But today this is not true. So I have taken a previous year question, but I did not change the option. So therefore now presently this is wrong. So what would be the answer here? So let me just make a correction. Instead of let us assume 2 and 3 only, let us make it 3 only. So 3 only. So if 3 only is the answer, then option B is the right answer. So very, very important. Take note of this. And this question may be very relevant for this year examination also. So the answer is option B, that is 3 only. Okay, so please come to the next question. Which one of the following duties is not performed by the Comptroller and Auditor General? The Comptroller and Auditor General today in our country is established under Article 148 of the Constitution. It is Article 148 that allows for what is called as the Comptroller and Auditor General. As per Article 148 of the Constitution and the laws made by the Parliament, what is the function that is to be performed by the Comptroller and Auditor General? To audit and to report the expenditures from the consolidated fund? Yes. All the expenditure from the consolidated fund, not only the expenditures from the consolidated fund, any expenditure of the Government of India that is audited by the CAG. To audit the report and report on all expenditures from the contingency fund and the public accounts, that is also true. To audit and to report on all trading, manufacturing, profit and loss accounts of the government enterprise, that is, they also audit the public sector undertaking and their accounts. So that is also true. So we are left out only with D. To control the receipt and the issue of public money and to ensure that the public revenue is lodged in the exchequer. No. They will not see whether the money is collected properly and getting credited into the consolidated fund of India. That is not the role of the Comptroller and Auditor General. Their role is only to audit the accounts and not these things. Okay. So this is definitely wrong. So the answer here is, because this is wrong and they are asking which of the following is not. So the right answer is option D. D is the right answer. Alright. So please come to question number 6. Which one of the following is correct with respect to commencement of the election process in our country? So commencement of the election process, there are certain important things. So the notification has to be issued, and even before that the election schedule is also to be announced. So let us try to understand which of the following is the right thing. The recommendation for the election is made by the government and the notification for the election is issued by the Election Commission of India. Contrary to your thought that the notification is issued by the Election Commission of India, as per the Representation of People Act, the notification to the Lok Sabha election is issued by the President and the notification to the state legislature is issued by the governor of that particular state based on the recommendation of the Election Commission of India. So therefore, notification issued by Election Commission of India is wrong. The recommendation for the election is made by the Election Commission and the notification to the election is issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. No, that is also wrong. The recommendation for the election is made by the Election Commission of India and the notification for the election is issued by the President and the governors of the concerned state. So this is exactly what is right under the Representation of People Act 1951. I think it is section 14 and section 15 of the Representation of People Act which talks about this. So therefore, the right answer is option C. Both the exercise of making the recommendation for the election and the notification in respect are done by the Election Commission. No. So the right answer is option C. Very, very important. Most of the students might have a different understanding here. They might think that the notification is issued by the Election Commission of India, but the notification is not issued by the Election Commission of India. So please come to question number 7. Which of the following is are among the functions of the Election Commission of India? So again, we should be aware of Article 324 and the laws which provide for the function of the Election Commission of India. Statement 1. Conduct of elections for the post of Speaker and the Deputy Speaker Lok Sabha and the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha is that done by the Election Commission of India? No. The role of Election Commission of India is to carry out election to the Lok Sabha, Legislative Assembly, Rajya Sabha, Legislative Council and the Office of President and Vice President. These are all not done by the Election Commission of India. The conduct of elections to corporations and municipalities, no, this is done by the State Election Commission. This is not the function of the Election Commission of India. So therefore, statement 2 is also wrong. Deciding on all doubts and disputes arising out of the election. So deciding all disputes arising out of all elections, because here it is not specifically talking about what type of elections. So you cannot expect the Election Commission of India to resolve all the disputes. No, that is not their job. So therefore, because the statement is vague and it is not clearly saying what type of election, that is also wrong. Which of the statements given above are correct? So none of the above. Option D is the right answer. I hope that in every question you are learning new things. So doing previous year questions becomes extremely important for your preparation. Alright, so come to the next question, which is related to the Public Service Commission. The member of UPSC or the State Public Service Commission, Union Public Service Commission or the State Public Service Commission is not eligible for any employment either under the state or under the union government on ceasing to be such members. So this is absolutely wrong. It is only the chairman of UPSC is not eligible for further employment. But a member of UPSC can be appointed as a chairman of UPSC. So for him that is possible. So he can be appointed as chairman UPSC, and a member of State Public Service Commission can be appointed as a chairman of the State Public Service Commission or a member of UPSC, or he can also be appointed as a chairman of UPSC. So all these options are available to him. So to that extent, this particular statement is completely wrong. A member of State Public Service Commission are appointed and removed by the governor. I have clearly said, though the members of the State Public Service Commissions are appointed only by the governor, they can be removed only by the President of India. So therefore, to say appointed and removed by the governor is wrong. Can you put it in the comment box? What is the ground on which the members can be removed? 4 grounds we have seen as to how they can be removed. If you know the answer, please put it in the comment box. Statement number 3. The members of UPSC or the State Public Service Commissions are removed on the same grounds as that of a judge of a Supreme Court. No, they are not removed on the same grounds as that of the judge of the Supreme Court. But if the removal is on the grounds of misbehavior, so in that particular case, the matter has to be referred to the Supreme Court of India for the inquiry. But the judges of the Supreme Court are removed by the President of India based on the motion that is passed in both houses of the Parliament. These two things are entirely different. So therefore, this particular statement is also wrong. Which of the statements given above are incorrect? So the answer is option D. All the statements given here are incorrect. Every question is very important. Please observe the answers very carefully. So there are 4 grounds. 1 ground I have told, misbehavior. What are the other 3 grounds on which the member or the member of UPSC or the State Public Service Commission can be removed? Please put it in the comment box. Come to question number 9. Consider the following statements regarding the Finance Commission of India. The composition of the Finance Commission is fixed in the Constitution. Yes. If you read Article 280 of the Constitution, the composition is fixed in the Constitution. What is the composition of the Finance Commission? The composition of the Finance Commission is that it shall consist of one chairperson plus 4 members. But however, the qualification of the Finance Commission members are not given in the Constitution. The qualification of these members are to be determined by a law that is made by the Parliament. The qualification of members of the Commission is to be determined by the President from time to time. This is also wrong. It is not by the President but by the parliamentary law. The Parliament can make a law and based on which it is decided. One of the main functions of the Commission is to determine the sharing of revenue between center and states. True. Of all the functions, this is the most important function. So statement 1 is correct. Composition is fixed. Statement 2 is incorrect, and statement 3 is correct. So which of the given statement is incorrect? So therefore, the right answer is only 2 because statement 2 is only incorrect. So the answer is option C. Alright, so come to the next question, that is question number 10. Which of the following statement is true regarding the office of the Comptroller and Auditor General, which is established under Article 148? The service of Comptroller and Auditor General, service conditions of the Comptroller and Auditor General is determined by an act of Parliament and shall not be varied to his disadvantage during the term of office. This is true. This independence is given in the Constitution, but his service condition shall be determined by a law that is made by the Parliament, but the Constitution says it shall not be varied to his disadvantage. The Comptroller and Auditor General shall not be eligible for any further employment either under the Government of India or under the government of any of the state. This is absolutely right statement. One of the prohibition for the Comptroller and Auditor General after his retirement is that he cannot be appointed in any capacity either under the Government of India or under the government of any of the states. Now, why this is there? Why this prohibition is there? So therefore, the Comptroller and Auditor General will do his function independently without any bias. So because he understands that he cannot be appointed in any capacity post retirement. So choose the correct answer from the codes given below. The answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2 is the right answer. Come to question number 11. Which of the following statement is true regarding the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes? Today, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is a constitutional body which is established under Article 338A of the Constitution. Article 338 is related to the National Commission for Scheduled Caste, and Article 338B is related to the National Commission for Backward Classes. The commission is established under Article 338A of the Constitution. No, it is not established under Article 338A, but it is not established under Article 338, but it is established under Article 338A of the Constitution. The chairperson and the members of the commission are appointed by the central government on the recommendation of the Parliamentary Committee on Tribal Affairs. No. The members and the chairpersons are appointed by the President of India on the recommendation of the Council of Ministers. Nothing else is right here. Okay, so let us keep it very simple. Choose a correct answer from the codes given below. So the correct answer is neither 1 nor 2 because both the statements are wrong. Come to question number 12, I think, which is the last question here. Which of the following is not a constitutional body? National Commission for Scheduled Caste, yes, it's a constitutional body under Article 338. National Human Rights Commission, no, it is not a constitutional body because it's a statutory body established under the Human Rights Act. Election Commission of India, yes, established under Article 324 of the Constitution. Comptroller and Auditor General, yes, established under Article 148 of the Constitution. So except for that, the only body which is not a constitutional body is the National Human Rights Commission. So therefore, the answer is option B. So you have done certain number of questions to give you conceptual understanding about the different constitutional bodies. We touched upon Public Service Commission, we touched upon CAG, we touched upon Election Commission of India, we touched upon the Finance Commission, we also touched upon the Comptroller and Auditor General, we also touched upon the commissions like National Commission for Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe and the backward classes also. So these are all the important constitutional bodies. Even in your prelims examination, you can expect one question from this particular area, and probably in the other competitive examination also, the questions are likely to come from these areas. So with that, we are coming to the conclusion of this particular lecture. If you have any questions related to any of the topics or any of the lectures in this series, or in general about the preparation, you can always reach out to me. You can consider me as your friend, guide, or a mentor, and do not hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you very much, and all the very best.